Hello random people, welcome to Random Garage, the channel where we're always doing something. Today on Random Garage we're removing this here Screamin Eagle exhaust system off the 128 inch stage 4 Road King, 2020 Road King here, and replacing that with the RB Racing LSR 2-into-1 pipe. Well, they sell these pipes in black ceramic, silver ceramic, and chrome. You see this is all the chrome version. You got a front head pipe and heat shield, rear head pipe and heat shield, bracket which probably mounts to the underneath the transmission, the collector shield, our main collector and pipe, clamps for it, got the billet exhaust flanges, billet gaskets. They send these spacers in case you need to space your floorboard out. I'll figure out where these go. Those are probably for mounting the bracket to the tranny. And I don't know, got 2 sets of exhaust nuts. I remember ordering exhaust nuts specifically. I'm thinking maybe the kit came with them already. They weren't specific about that, so there I have an extra set, but that's all right. And no instructions, but I mean, it's just an exhaust system. It really can't be that hard. And they're Milwaukee 8 systems. They come, you don't have to special order or anything, but they come with both bungs for the wideband O2 and your standard narrowband O2 sensors, and of course with plugs for the wideband. So we'll just be putting in the stock narrowband into these ones. So I'll start by getting this floorboard out of the way by taking out the mounting bolts, you know, this one, get that out of the way so that we've got clearance to get the old pipe off and the new pipe in. Okay, then under the right side cover here, these are the 2 plugs for the oxygen sensors, so we got to disconnect those and unclip tie wraps and wire holding clips and everything, and get both the O2 sensors unrouted so that they're loose from the bike. Okay, next got to get both these heat shields off, or at least loosened up a little bit. Loosen this one and then loosen the clamps on those 2, just because up in there, that upper screw nut, I mean, you can't get to that nut because the heat shield's in the way, and there's one same on the front that's interference like that, so we'll get those heat shields off. Okay, then with those heat shields off, then before I loosen anything else up, I'm gonna take a 14mm wrench and just loosen both of my O2 sensors, because sometimes they can be a little rusted and stuck in there, and you know, if you try and break them loose after taking the pipe off, then you're trying to struggle to hold the pipe in position while you're loosening those, and it's just easier just to do it now and put a lot more force on them and break them loose. So next then I'm going to take off the left side pipe with the crossover all at once. Under here, you got to pull this bolt out right there. That holds the crossover pipe in place. 1/2-inch wrench will get that bolt. Then take a 9/16 socket, get this heavy clamp loose, and then of course just your 1/2-inch on those mounts, and then that whole crossover plus the left pipe will come off. Now this clamp is loose, so then just to facilitate that coming apart easier, we'll just shoot a little penetrant on there so that can start working its magic. Now that the left side is off, then there's one other bracket that can be removed. It's the additional hanger bracket right here. You can see that with the light, and just need a little 3/16 Allen bit to get those Allen screws out and get that off. That's just bolted to the back side of the transmission there. You could leave it if you want, but I don't know. I mean, it's not gonna do anything. It just sits there. So I'll pull that off. And then this clamp here that's holding this front pipe, we'll get that loose, and then just go ahead and the 1/2-inch socket with the long extension and get the nuts off the headers and pull that pipe off. Oh yeah, of course, those again on the right side. All right, so with the exhaust off then, got to get these old gaskets out. I usually just take a small screwdriver and kind of pry under to get it broke loose a little bit, and then grab it with needle nose pliers and twist and pull, and they come out fairly clean. But then you know, take a little Scotch-Brite something and clean that surface up to make sure it's there's no little bits of gasket stuck left in there. Then this new exhaust bracket, that's going to go like here under the transmission. Again, they gave us these spacers, so two are different. Got this recess on them, and this one's straight. That one, it's going to go there. And I see that these ones have this recess because there's this bit of a gasket here, so that'll go kind of down into that area. So that makes sense. We'll pull those out, put these in, blue Loctite, look up the factory torque spec for the trapdoor cover there, and get them installed. So these are the bolts that came out. The factory spec for these is 20 to 25 foot-pounds. Since these are so much longer, they're going to stretch a lot more, so I'm definitely going to go right at the upper end of that torque spec at 25 foot-pounds. We got the billet aluminum gaskets here. Those don't like stick up in the exhaust port with an interference fit or anything, so they're just going to go right in the end of the header pipes during assembly, and then they're aluminum, so they'll crush a little bit and seal up against the head. All right, got that bracket installed there, and then just take this off. This is the actual pipe mount, I guess, so that's going to have to go like on the pipe first, and then the pipe will go through, and they'll put the nuts back on the backside. So now on this pipe mount, these should probably be carriage bolts, because then they would have that square hex under the head, which would fit into this slot and hold them in place so you could tighten the nuts. Instead, we got just hex bolts here, which go in there. And then when I put the nuts on, they're going to want to spin. I'm going to have to get a skinny screwdriver in there to jam it under the head, I guess, and hold the heads in place. Got to install the exhaust flanges here. We'll just go over each head pipe like that. Take the snap ring and stretch it and get it down there into that groove right there. Okay, so we got the flanges and clips on. Going to not forget the billet gasket, and then separately put the front and rear header pipe up on there with the new nuts, and leave it a little loose because everything's gonna need some adjustment and final tightening here as we put the rest of it together. Okay, there's those header pipes set up nice and loose. Now for the collector. So now I'm just gonna slip the collector on. See, these aren't split like regular Harley exhaust with then a big clamp that goes on there. They're just a slit fit into the pipes, so should be fairly easy. All right, well that went on fairly easy. A little twisting and pushing and everything, and then these seem to hang up a little ways in, and then all of a sudden, shoot, and then they could just feel them bottom out. So I know that I'm fully engaged there. I'm gonna use red Loctite on these mount nuts here. Red Loctite 263, because that's good for up to 360 degrees, and obviously we're here by the hot exhaust. So I got those started and still a little loose. And, I'm gonna kind of just position the pipe where I kind of want it and alternately tighten down the 4 exhaust nuts, making sure that I tighten it down nice and straight and even, it's not hitting anything. And then I'll torque those exhaust nuts to 90 to 120 inch-pounds. They're a small nut with a small flange, and with that aluminum gasket behind it, I'm probably going to go on the high end on these. And then of course check them after each of the first few heat cycles and retorque them. Okay, I guess these bolts were fine. Didn't really need a carriage bolt. Once they started to tighten up, the hex jammed itself into that section inside there in that bracket, so then the bolt didn't turn and I was able to crank the nuts nice and tight. So now I just gotta reroute my O2 sensor wires, plug them back in, secure them back in place, wipe all my dirty fingerprints off this chrome, and then put the heat shields on. Okay, then heat shields. Obviously the big clamps go on the collector. The collector overlaps the front heat shields a little bit, so the front ones have to go on first on the header pipes, then the collector. But I just flip these over and look, 2 spots for clamps there. 1, 2, 3, 3 clamps, and 1, 2, 3. But they had only given 2 clamps, or well, 5 total of that size. So that's kind of dumb, but I'm sure I got another clamp laying around I can find to use. Oh, the heck. It's so shiny I didn't even see. On the rear heat shield, there's actually 4 spots. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you could use a total of 7 clamps, and they provided 3. But I think I'm just going to put 3 on this rear. I put 3 on the front. I found another one I had. I'll go there, there, and I think I'll go here. Because it's always better to clamp it on a straighter section of pipe versus at a corner like that. Now we'll see if this footboard's going to fit without the spacers, hopefully. Otherwise, install it with the spacers, I guess. So it does need the spacer, mostly on the back side. It needs about a 1/2 inch. See what they gave us here. Well, those are more like 1 inch, but all right, throw those in. All right, so there's the floorboard on with the spacers there. Good clearance. It's extra nuts. Those will go in my saddlebag, I guess, in case I ever lose one. All right, sound check. Woo! Sounds like a Harley now. Well, there it is. If it would just stop snowing, I could go try it out. If you want to see more random garage things, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you get a random notification when a new random garage video is posted. As always, thanks for watching, and remember, whatever you do, make sure you're always doing something.